Hello everybody, I just wanted to stop in real quick to say that after the draft ends, there will be another mini draft where I go over the draft, analyze what went wrong, and what I would have done knowing the things that I know now. I listened to the podcast Lords of Limited and heard their thoughts on the format, and I think that this draft could have gone a little bit better, so I just wanted to let you know that after the draft, there's going to be another little mini draft analysis before I get to the matches about what I could have improved on and where I think my deck might have ended up if I had drafted a bit differently. So I hope you enjoy the draft, and I'll talk to you in a bit. Hello everybody, and welcome to another Modern Horizons draft here on the channel. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Before I dive in, I do want to remind you that if you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that thumbs up and subscribe to the channel to get updates whenever I post new content. Also, if you would like to have access to exclusive rewards and to support me further, be sure to join my Patreon. Check that out over at patreon.com/NicolaiBolas. And I do want to give a huge shout out to Eric S. for supporting me at the Eternal of Bolas level on Patreon. Thank you so much for that, Eric. Without further ado, let's get into the pack. Yawgmoth Thrawn Physician is one of the best rares in the set and is definitely going to be the pick here. Just a 4-mana card that you can just start sacrificing creatures to kill your opponent's creatures while also drawing cards, and then you can even proliferate the counters onto the opponent's creatures if you need to. Just makes this a very good card. It works nicely in a red-black archetype combined with things like Goblin War Party. Other than the Yawgmoth, Battle Screech is an incredible card. I love this new artwork, by the way, but Battle Screech is nowhere near Yawgmoth, but making 4/1/1s is really good, and you can pretty easily enable that. So I think I would go Yawgmoth and then Battle Screech, and then it's close between Springbloom Druid, but probably take the War Party. Okay, so now that we have a Yawgmoth, we really do want to try and play black, so we're going to bias our picks towards black. Let's look at this, though. Dismantling Blow. This is more of a sideboard card. You aren't guaranteed to hit an enchantment or artifact in this set, which means that this isn't really a main deckable card. It's also 2-color if you want to get the really good effect. Hall of Heliod's Curiosity is not an insane card either. Let's see if we can make this a little bit bigger even. Not that big. Jeez, that's annoying. I just want to make sure everyone can see the cards. Wow, you can make this quite big. Let's just make it like this big and then put it like here. Perfect. Hall of Heliod's Curiosity, not a super exciting card. There's just not enough enchantments. Minddrake is okay, but nothing special. What's Waterweave Witch? And this is an okay card. It works nicely with the Yawgmoth. I also kind of like Shelter because it works well with Yawgmoth as well as protecting him. I think it's between Minddrake and Waterweave Witch, maybe lesser Manticore for the flexibility, but I think we're going to start off taking the Warteye Witch. I mean. You want to make sure you get enough creatures to work with Yawgmoth, and a sacrifice theme is okay. Oh, goodness. This pack is not really good for Yawgmoth, but this card is disgustingly powerful. Soul Hoarder is a really good card in a blue-white deck, and I think even though it doesn't go with the Yawgmoth at all, or my second pick, I think it is going to be worth taking here, just because it can just facilitate a deck all by itself, and it's not like too early to switch into that type of deck. Vesperlark works really well with Soul Hoarder, but I don't think we are going to take that over a Soul Hoarder. Soul Hoarder is just very powerful. Other than that, Diabolic Edict is not a card I'm super big fan of playing, just because there's a decent amount of like the creatures to sacrifice. Reprobation's okay. Making a creature into a 0/1 is all right for 2 mana especially. But we're just going to take the Soul Hoarder, see where it takes us. And looking at this pack, there seems to be a decent number of green cards. So not really exactly sure where I'm supposed to go with this. We're not going to go into another Kankrix deck, especially so soon after my last one. Rock's Veteran's okay, but mostly for more aggressive decks. There are some green cards. Maybe we could go into a green-black deck with the Yawgmoth. Tranquil Thicket's the best card in this pack by a pretty decent margin. First Sphere Gargantua is okay, but Tranquil Thicket, just having a land that also cycles, is so good. It's better than Wall of Blossoms, pretty much better than every common. So I think we're just going to take the Tranquil Thicket and kind of just maybe play green-black. Maybe we play, green, blue, white or something. I don't know, but I don't really want to take a Spell Snuff or Soul Strike Technique. Savage Swipe has been like mediocre, but we're just going to enjoy this Tranquil Thicket while we can. And Goblin Matron. Maybe we go fetch some goblins and go back into green-black type deck. Irregular Cohort is one of the better commons in this set. I've been liking playing this card. If we had a really powerful Changeling, the Goblin would also get better because it can find Changelings, because they count as every creature type in every zone. Universal Automaton's like okay in the Slivers deck, and also if you have some synergies with just tribes. Not a huge fan of Goblin Oriflame. Chiller Pillar is like not great. So I think the pick here is between Irregular Cohort, Goblin Matron, and Pondering Mage maybe. And I think Irregular Cohort is going to be the pick, not only because it is a decent card with the Yawgmoth because it gives you 2 bodies to sacrifice, but it also works with the Soul Hoarder if we end up going in that direction, and we don't have any red cards to move into a Goblin Matron deck just yet. Nether Spirit. I don't think this card is going to be that good. There's not really a ton of ways to I guess there's some ways to exile creatures from your graveyard, which could give this some extra synergy, and we do kind of want to play black because of the Yawgmoth, so maybe that would be okay. But I kind of just want to take the Twin Silk Spider because it makes 2 bodies for the price of 1 card. Works decently if we end up in a Soul Hoarder deck that's playing 3 colors. Phantom Ninja is like not a card I'm a huge fan of. Fountain Maker could be good for fixing, but I'm not really looking for that. Let's just take the Twin Silk Spider. We did see a pretty late Tranquil Thicket, so let's just take that and we'll just start stacking the cards double high. What's this do? If there are 3 or more cards in your graveyard, you gain 5 life, so kind of creature payoff, I guess. Ephemerate works well with the Soul Hoarder stuff and the irregular cohort stuff. Cunning Evasion. There's another card that works well with those types of cards. I think green is looking relatively open. There's a Treetop Ambusher, which is a decent creature. There's an Webweaver Champion, which is decent. I think we're just going to take a 2-drop here. Make sure we have enough of those. And maybe look to play green-black. Regrowth, decent card. It's a fine uncommon. What's this do? This card's not as good in limited as it would be in constructed, just because getting a they don't have as many meaningful permanents to kill. This card's all right. I think I'm choosing between Regrowth and the Trumpeting Herd here. The thing is, you generally don't have enough a ton of creatures that are like super worth getting back. So let's just take the Elephant. I kind of like that. And another Wart-Eye Witch came back on the wheel. Talisman of Conviction is really good if we ended up playing white, but it's looking like black and green are the colors we're supposed to be. Maybe white and green, but I really do want to play this Yawgmoth if I can. And we can just take the Wart-Eye Witch and have a little bit more and try to get a couple sacrifice themes maybe going. So I think we're just going to take the Wart-Eye Witch. And now Mindrake came back. This card seems pretty decent. Actually, eh. Oh, I misread Overload as Flashback. Whoops. Yeah, that card seems not great. Shelter's much better. Or we could just take a Snow-Covered Forest. Green is looking the most open. Let's just take the Snow-Covered Forest in case we get any snow payoffs. And now we can pick up either a Reparation or a Snow-Covered Plains. I'm leaning towards the Plains just in case we see some snow payoffs in green. And Bellowing Elk is okay. The Gargantua is okay as well. Let's just take this. There's a decent amount of self-mill in green. And the Goblin Matron came back. And the Ninja came back. And I don't know what our last card was, but the Treetop Ambusher maybe. So this is our curve right now. We have some... Oh, we got a Snow-Covered Plains last. Interesting. Interesting. So we got some green. I don't think we're looking to play Soul Herder right now. White didn't seem all that open. Kaya's Guile. Interesting. Interesting. So there's not a ton of great cards. I guess Talisman of Resilience is pretty great if we're a black-green deck. Probably just the best card in the pack. Yeah, we'll probably just take this. Good ramp. We have a decent number of 4-drops to get out. It's a good 2-drop. And overall, just a pretty solid card. This card's not a card I'm a huge fan of. Marasa Behemoth is playable, but you don't really want too many copies. And I'd rather play something like a Gargantua because it draws you a card. Yeah, Headless Spectre, not really that great. Snow-Covered Forest is okay. We're just slamming the Talisman, I think, here. Pretty happy about that. Crozen Tusker is a nice little value card. It puts a creature in your graveyard for cards that care about that. And it's just going to be probably the best card here. Ruination Rider is all right in a red-green deck, but not really a card you want to splash. 3 damage to any target, and like it's decent removal with some life gain attached, but we aren't really splashing those colors. We're just going to take the Crozen Tusker as some good value, way to get a creature in our yard, way to, like, if we wanted to fix for mana, we could get it. And Gluttonous Slug is okay, but not really something we're going to prioritize here. So we're going to be taking the Crozen Tusker. I'm just going to close the door real quick. Yeah, so I'm pretty happy getting Crozen Tusker. It's just pretty good value. And at late game, you can just cast it as well. What's this card do? I don't think we're going to be able to get enough constructs to make that work. There's another Crozen Tusker, which could mean that we could play a deck that splashes, which could be good. So I'll keep that in mind. There's a Talisman, which could help us splash white, which looks like a color that might be relatively open. Feaster of Fools is all right, but I don't love killing my own creatures, especially because I don't have all that many tokens. I have this thing makes tokens, this thing makes tokens, and I guess this guy these guys reward me for sacrificing them, but I'm not going to go all in on that, I don't think. Ransack the Lab is really good with Yawgmoth. It's good with the First Sphere, but I don't think you want all that many copies of that type of effect. So I think the pick here is between Crozen Tusker, the Ransack the Lab, and the Talisman. Kind of just want to take the talisman. I'm going to take the talisman. Get some more ramp going. Arcum's Astrolabe is really good if you can cast it, but it's kind of hard to cast. We only have one snow permanent. What's Treefilk Umbra? I'm not a fan of Treefilk Umbra. Venomous Changeling's just a fine card, though. 3 mana, 1/3 Death Touch. It counts as all creature types for things that care about that. Cave of Temptation is not really a card I'm looking to play. Goblin Matron isn't a card we're really splashing. I guess we could take like a Snow-Covered Plains, but we're just going to take the Venomous Changeling, and we'll be alright playing that. Rune Tender, untap a snow permanent. That could be decent ramp as well, but we only have one snow-covered permanent in our colors right now. Carrion Feeder's okay. Some sacrifice synergies for our Wart-Eye Witches. We do have a Twin Silk Spider and a Trumpeting Herd that make 2 bodies for 1 card. What's this do? All colorless, or this card's all multicolored cards. I don't think that's going to be very good. The Cloud Treader's Liver is really good, but we're not in those colors at all. I think we're just going to take Rune Tender. It's a fine 2-drop, and we can maybe get some upside if we pick up another couple snow-covered lands. Because nobody really wants snow-covered swamps or forests. Ooh, another Talisman. Nice. Azure Smokeshaper is a card I like as well. There's also another Wart-Eye Witch, but I don't really think we want that. I think we're just going to take the Talisman. We have a pretty decent, like, ramp-type style thing going on. I guess Firebolt's a pretty fine card to splash, but we aren't really in a splashing situation yet. We only have the 1 Crozen Tusker. Talisman is just really good ramp, and we can just build like a... Just playing that on turn 2 is just really good. So we're just going to take another Talisman, I think, here over a Azure Smokeshifter in the Snow-Covered Forest. We do want to get some Snow-Covered lands to work with the Rime Tender. Carrion Feeder is a fine sacrifice. I would like Glacial Revelation is only okay if we get a lot of snow stuff. We have 1, 2 snow things right now. Nothing else has snow involved. I don't think Changelings count as snow creatures. That would be weird if they did. So I guess we'll just take the Carrion Feeder. And now, interesting. I'm not a huge fan of taking the Silumgar Scavenger. Prohibit's a fine counter. Birthing Bows is like a fine like sideboard card for grinding matchups, or we could just take a Venomous Changeling. Get some more Death Touch going, be more defensive. The Axe is a card that's a bit slow, so I'm just going to take the Changeling. Kaya's Guile came back. That's kind of crazy. And we do have a Talisman of Hierarchy to help splash it. It's just not all that powerful and limited. I think we're just going to take the Snow-Covered Forest to help us with our Rime Tender, because Rime Tender is really good if you can enable it, and having a couple snow permanents, it's just, like, if it gives you a little bit of upside. There's also a Talisman of Conviction if we want to splash red, but we already have 3 Talismans. We don't really need all that many more. And a Snow-Covered Swamp. That's another nice asset for this deck. The more snow permanents we get, the better. There is a Ruination guy, but we're not really splashing that. Smiting Helix, we can't splash the flashback, so just going to keep taking the snow permanents. And more Snow-Covered Forest, really working out for us here, this Rime Tender pick. I guess we'll take the Arcum's Astrolabe. It's really powerful if we can enable it, and we have a decent number of snow permanents already. And another Snow-Covered Swamp. Wow, we are really racking up the Snow-Covered permanents. I don't think we're really going to want the Carrion Feeder. Wow, why would it give me that card? It didn't give me any time to pick the really good red card, because the Goblin one was actually quite nice. I don't think we want to play the Ninja. It doesn't even show me the card. Just add the Chiller Pillar to my deck. Clearly a card I want. Ooh, Cabal Therapist. Now that is a nice card. So I can slowly pick away at their hand if I have extra creatures to sacrifice. So that's a good option. What else is in this pack? There's a Rank Officer, which seems like a solid card. Discard a card, you get a 2/2. And then you can exile creatures from your graveyard and make each player lose 2 life. There's also a Snow-Covered Forest I might wheel, which would be nice. Maybe I would wheel a Glacial Revelation and actually play it, because it could actually draw me some cards now. Winding Way is alright for filling my graveyard. I think I'm just going to take the Cabal Therapist, though. Just gives me a lot of upside, and I can like pick apart my opponent's hand pretty easily. And there's not a ton of great cards in this pack. Rank Officer is okay, but we're just going to take the Cabal Therapist. Another Talisman. Tranquil Thicket's probably just going to be the pick, though. Just makes it less likely that I flood. I already have 2 Talismans of Resilience. Nobody seems to be prioritizing those, but the land is really good. Makes it less likely I'll flood out, especially because I have so many Talismans that could make me flood out potentially. So I think I'll just take that. Astral Drift isn't really a card I need. I don't have a ton of cycling, and I'm not really splashing that anyway. Bellowing Elk would be maybe okay. We're just going to take the Tranquil Thicket, though, over the Rank Officer. Actually, probably over the Talisman. Tranquil Thicket is so good. And another Tranquil Thicket. What's this do, though? We're not taking that. We're just going to take another. Tranquil Thickets are just so good. It just makes it so much less likely that I flood out and just lose for no reason. So Tranquil Thicket's definitely going to be my pick here. Changeling Outcast is okay in some builds, but not really this deck. Maybe I would get a Bellowing Elk on the wheel or a Talisman to help me splash a white card on the wheel. We're just going to have a third Tranquil Thicket, and our deck's going to be excellent for it. And we already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 snow-covered lands, so this card's like relatively castable. Ooh, Urza, Lord High Artificer. We can't really cast this in our decks. We're not going to take it. It's actually worth money, but we're in a Phantom queue, so that's why it's getting passed around. Etchings of the Chosen. We have like not really a ton of stuff in common, so we aren't really going to take that to splash. The Glacial Revelation probably not going to draw us all the many cards. We have like 4 or 5 snow cards. Mindbreak, we already have one, or maybe we don't have one, but we don't really need it. Nimble Mongoose is okay if we have a lot of self-mill, but we don't really have a lot of self-mill. Let's just take the Unearth. We have a decent number of creatures that cost 3 or less, and Unearth is just a pretty fine value play. And it's cheap, and it can cycle. Sadistic Obsession. Wow, that's actually really scary if you have a good creature to put it on. I think we just want to take the Ransack the Lab, though. It helps fill our graveyard. It helps us find our Yawgmoth, and it's overall just a pretty solid card. And we can get a Rank Officer on the wheel from that other pack, maybe. Sadistic Obsession is like a fine option, but it's like much better in like a mono black deck. And it, oh yeah, you have to tap to use that. Oh, never mind. This card's just quite poor. It just opens you up to getting exposed by removal. Let's just take that. There's another Ninja. There's a regular. What's Twisted Reflection? Oh, that's interesting. Very interesting. We'll just take the Ninja. The New Moon. Maybe we'll end up playing it. You never know. Don't really like Shatter Assumptions. I don't really want to take the Talisman, but I guess I will. Diabolic Edict. Ooh, a Snow-Covered Forest. Perfect. Perfecto. We might end up playing this Carrion Feeder. We are going to have to pick up like 3 more playables. Hey, another Snow-Covered Forest. Sure. We have 10 lands so far here. Our deck seems powerful, but maybe inconsistent because we don't have all that many spells. We definitely have a lot of things to do early, which is important in this format. These are mostly 4-drops, hopefully. We did really enable this this Rhyme Tender, though. Maybe we'll play the Carrion Feeder. Ooh, another Snow-Covered Forest. We have to just take a spell, though. I think we'll just main deck a Tornado. Because we have 20 cards right now. We only have 6 more cards to get a pick. We already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Snowlands. So let's just take a Tornado. There's a decent number of flyers in this format that you want to be able to kill. It's relatively low cost to put that in your deck. We're just going to play the Carrion Feeder. At this point, hopefully we can cut it by the end of the process. We really only have like 2 cards that care about snow. Astrolabe is just like mediocre. Carrion Feeder might go decently with the ninjas because threat of activation on that, and then it just hits them, and then you get the ninjas going. You never know. Ooh, Bellowing Elk came back. That's a fine addition to the team. That one's hard to block as well. Nimble Mongoose, sure, we'll take it. Yeah, we'll take the Nimble Mongoose. We'll try it out. Sadistic Obsession maybe in the right matchup. Probably just better than Spore Frog. And the last pick, Snow-Covered Mountain. Hello and welcome to the draft breakdown post after the draft has happened, and just a little bit of things about where I potentially went wrong. I'm going to go pretty quickly because you just watched the actual draft, so you already are familiar with a lot of the picks that I was making, but I do want to talk about some of the potential options. Obviously, pack 1 Yawgmoth is a clear pick.
He's just a bomb rare, very good. As you saw, yeah, Battle Screech is a pretty clear second. I think it's just better than like every uncommon. Than every common, but I think that pick is pretty clear. The pick 2 is where I really went off the rails. I think Lesser Mastercore is much better than I gave it credit for. I was listening to a podcast, Lords of Limited, and just listening to them talk about the card. This card is just much better than I was talking about. 2-drops are really important. This card leaves me very flexible, and I feel like some of you were probably kicking yourselves when I didn't take kicking me through the screen when I didn't take this card. It's just very flexible. This card would have been fine. Taking Rhyme Tender would have been fine just as a powerful card. Cleaving Sliver is better than the Board Eye Witch. Board Eye Witch is just not a very good card, and taking this card was just a mistake. I hadn't played with it. I'm pretty new to the format still, so I think it's like okay that I'm still making mistakes, and that's why I'm kind of doing this analysis, because I think there's definitely a lot that I can learn just by going back through. But Lesser Mastercore, I think, is the pick here. It leaves me very flexible, helps me play the Yawgmoth, and I think it's way better than taking Board Eye Witch. Here, I think Soul Herder is powerful enough that it's worth taking. It's a fine option. Even if it does mean that I can't play Yawgmoth, maybe I would splash the Soul Herder or something like that. Other than that, there's not a ton of great stuff. Vesperluck's okay. Diabolic Edict to keep myself mono black, even though I don't love making them sack a creature when there's so many token makers in the format. Reprobation, having early interaction is key in the format. Even like just getting a 2-drop, not the great. I probably wouldn't defend that pick, but I think Soul Herder's a fine pick in this pack. And then I think here is where I went really off the rails. The problem is I value the cycling lands a lot more than other people, so I kind of view this as a signal a lot of the time. I think potentially the correct pick was just Rock's Veteran, because Rock's Veteran is just a very powerful white card, and I had just taken a Soul Herder, and I would have had a Lesser Masticore, so I would have been very flexible. I could have just been a white-black deck with the Yawgmoth still. I think taking the Tranquil Thicket is fine, but it does leave me like, if I had to, yeah, I just could have been a green-black deck, but I think this pick is kind of close, just because I could still be a white-blue deck at this point if I had taken all those other cards. Irregular Cohort, just the best card in this pack, I think. There's not really, I don't think there's anything else particularly close. I don't think Silumgar Scavenger is very good. I don't think Universal Automaton's like super good. So I think Irregular Cohort's definitely the pick, especially because I already had this Soul Herder. So if I'd gone Soul Herder into Rock's Veteran into this, or even if I'd gone into Tranquil Thicket into this, I think Rock's Veteran is much better than I was giving it credit for, though, and so it's probably the pick rather than just taking a Tranquil Thicket that doesn't really put me into an archetype. I think you really want to be drafting an archetype, so taking Soul Herder into the Rock's Veteran into the Irregular Cohort would have gone much better, and it's arguably just a better direction, and then I would have had a solid white deck going forward. I think Twin Silk Spider, this pick was just a catastrophe. Like, this was just not a very good pick. Twin Silk Spider is not it's like a fine card, but it's not insane. I think Nether Spirit's defensible after playing like with the way the Yawgmoth plays out. Having another Spirit early on could mean it's just a very good combo if you can assemble this into Yawgmoth. It is a defensible pick to just keep me in black potentially. Bladeback Sliver is a very fine 2-drop, and even like a Martyr Soul is just to keep me in the white deck that I potentially could have drafted is fine. I think Twin Silk Spider, given that I had taken the Tranquil Thicket in this draft, was like okay maybe, but it just really isn't the type of card you need to be taking early. So I think Nether Spirit was probably the correct pick out of that pack. And then I think this pick is just really bad. Treetop Ambusher, like, sure, you need to have 2-drops, but I think if I had been taking the white cards, I probably would have just taken Ephemerate. Maybe I would have, and I think Webweaver Changeling is just a better card than Treetop Ambusher, even if I'm green deck. So I think I should have just taken the Webweaver in this pack, just after like playing with the deck, seeing how it worked, and all that good stuff. This is a very late Trumpeting Herd. Trumpeting Herd's quite good, and this kind of gave me a little bit of hope that the archetype I was drafting was open. I definitely think it's the pick over the Regrowth, but again, the fact that I'm in a green deck here might be debatable. Maybe I should have just been in a black-white deck, taking the Diabolic Edict here or something of that nature. And then here, I'm just like cleaning up shop, taking the Ward Eye Witch to stay in the black. Snow-covered permanent over a Shelter. I think if I had been white-black, I would have definitely just snapped up the Shelter, and then I would have been able to snap up a Reprobation. I think I could have ended up in a sweet white deck, like white-black. First Fear Gargantua. Yeah, and then the rest of the pack is kind of... I also think here is a pretty key spot. I overvalue the talismans like to a high level. If I'd been on a white-black deck, I could have taken the Sea Beyond Reality. Even in a green deck, taking the Marasa Behemoth, especially because I already had a cycling land, this could have just been the very correct pick. Like, this is an 8/8 trample and can actually just win me the game. I didn't have any win cons and I didn't have any removal, and that's just something that I struggled with this deck. In this pack, Smiting Helix is just much better than I gave it credit for, much better than Crows and Tusker, and I should have just taken this. 4-mana deal 3, gain 3 is just a fine card. I had no removal in this deck, and that was a huge problem. So if I ended up with, especially because of the black cards, my colors and things like that, so I think that's just a pretty clear pick. again, I'm just valuing the talismans way higher. My problem when I'm drafting supplemental sets is I often treat them as if they're cube drafts. I don't know why, but this is something I've done multiple times now. And in a cube, like, signets are super good, so like I always just assume that in a supplemental set the talismans must be good. Like, sure, in draft talismans are really good, but you need to be prioritizing things properly. And I think Ransack the Lab is arguably just a way better pick because it can help me find my Yawgmoth. Even like taking a Feaster of Fools for just more like a way to win the game could be fine. It's just I need to have a win con. I don't need to have more just random talismans, and that was just honestly quite a big problem. The Venomous Changeling's a fine pick. If I was in a white-black deck, this pack would have been pretty lackluster. Maybe would have taken the Swamp, but you know, then I got the Talisman late. This Azure Smoke Shaper was probably just a better pick for the deck. Even either version, the deck that I could have drafted or the deck that I had, Azure Smoke Shaper just probably would have been better. It's just a really good card, I think, and was just probably the best card in this pack to take. And then, yeah, the rest of this pack is like kind of like not just kind of slow. If I was white, I would have taken the Shelter or this first Silver's Chosen. Exalted is just a good mechanic, especially if you have Changelings. Enduring Sliver, great card. Smiting Helix came back. I can't believe I made this pick. This was a truly horrific pick. This is like, why would you ever take a land over a Smiting Helix? Just because you have literally one Rhyme Tender, just doesn't make sense. Yeah, I should have taken the Smiting Helix here. I just really undervalue this card. 4 mana, deal 3, gain 3 is like just a fine card. And yeah, I think I should have been in white-black this draft, just based on all the signals I saw instead of green. And I would have taken probably Smiting Helix the first time, got the Enduring Sliver back. And yeah, so just kind of catastrophe. Oh, this pick was truly, truly horrific. Cabal Therapist is not a playable limited card. Yeah, truly bad. And then I think Rank Officer is just actually quite a good card. So I think Rank Officer is the pick in this pack by a mile, and should have just made that pick. And then, yeah, in this pack I could have taken the Astral Drift, or I could have taken another Rank Officer. Probably another Rank Officer is the correct pick. If I'm just playing white-black, assuming an Imposter of the Sixth Pride. Worked with some of my shenanigans, just a 2-drop. You need those 2-drops. I could have taken Talisman here because that would have been white-black. That could have been a fine pickup, but definitely not supposed to be in green in this draft. I would have gotten Etchings of the Chosen. That would have worked out nicely. I could take another Ransack the Lab for my to find my Yawgmoth, or just another Rank Officer. Now I would have got an Enduring Sliver or a regular cohort. I think, yeah, just being a white was definitely the correct play here. White was way more open. And then, yeah, I could have gotten an Angel maybe. I don't even know. I don't think that card player playable though, so this pack just wasn't great. Could have taken a NicolaiBolas to it for early interaction. The Astral Drift came back. Wall would be fine. Cyber card. Trustworthy Scout. Yeah, this card's bad. Don't play Sadistic Obsession. But basically, that is a draft analysis. I think I ended up in the wrong colors, and I think I know exactly why. I just valued cards slightly differently, and some cards very differently. I think listening to other people talk about the format is a really key asset, and if you haven't checked out the Lords of Limited podcast, they're both very qualified drafters, and they both don't just like treat their own opinions as gold. They like listen to other people and learn about stuff, so both of them are very good drafters, and I recommend checking out their podcast, Lords of Limited. But yeah, it really helped me give myself a perspective on this draft, because it kind of felt like a train wreck partway through. And yeah, I hope you still enjoy the matches, though. I learned a lot while I was doing the matches, and there were some pretty interesting moments. My opponents had some sick decks that you can learn from as well. But yeah, that's going to do it for the draft analysis, the post-draft analysis. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know if you enjoy this type of commentary, because I can add this into a lot of my videos. So let me know your feedback in the comment section down below. Let me know if you check out the Lords of Limited podcast, if you already listened to it, things like that. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the video. I'm a little bit less certain on whether the oh, sorry, I'll keep the display window up for the fact that the cards are less known still, because it is a supplemental set. So let's just put this in the upper corner. Let's just, as long as it fits in this little corner, I'll just keep it here. Okay, so we're gonna put that up there, and I'll just leave it there for the entire matches and stuff. So I could totally splash a card, but I don't have any cards worth splashing, except maybe a Soul Herder, but I don't have any good things to bounce anyway. Huh. Maybe I do just want to play Sadistic Obsession. Nimble Mongoose is probably like the wrong pick. I probably should have just taken the discard too. So I have 10 lands. I'm probably just going to run 18 lands because with 3 cycling lands you can afford to. And my deck is not highly threat dense. We're going to cut the Nimble Mongoose. Okay, we'll run the Astrolabe just because. We got the Talismans going. We got some Changeling action. Tornado's alright. The Ninjas, the First Strike Gargantuan. Yeah, we'll run 17 lands. I guess we have all these Talismans. I don't know if this is any good, but I guess we will find out. So let's sort by color. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 8 of those already. I think our Astrolabe is going to be fine. Add basic lands. So we already have 10 lands. So we're going to definitely add like 1 forest. 6 of these. So then we'll have 8. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 green sources. We have a 9-8 split. Yeah, we have pretty even distributions, and we have a lot of double black cards. We would rather have more swamps than forests. That actually makes sense to me. Add another swamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 8. Now we have a 9-8 in favor of swamps. This deck looks pretty sweet. Good to try out new archetypes. Maybe we want to run the Sadistic Obsession over. What's our worst card? Astrolabe doesn't really do a ton. It just like cycles through our deck. I guess over Talisman of Hierarchy. Let's just try the card. I mean, it could be pretty brutal. I don't know, but it's always worth trying new things. And yeah, a 1-color Talisman when we already have 2 Talismans isn't as good. I wish we'd found something good to splash, because we really could have splashed like a lot of stuff. Because we have this guy, like especially a white card. We have the Astrolabe, but our deck seems pretty solid, decent synergies, and it seems relatively fast, which has seemed important in the matchups I've played. I lost the die roll. Feels bad, man. But yeah, I'm just going to keep that in the upper corner. We'll keep all snow-covered stuff. I wish we'd seen another snow-covered payoff. Oh, that's terrifying. Okay, so it's just a Changeling deck. Some sweet Changeling synergy. I would have been much more scared if it was ninjas. That card doesn't seem all that good to me. Oh my gosh. That is going to be a massacre. I'm going to try to get this out on a turn I can immediately use it, because then it's just going to definitely get me some value. Okay, so we're going to go the Astrolabe. Move the stack over here. Draw a card. Play the Talisman. And then just pass. I don't know if it's worth attacking. Let's attack. Sure, nice. We got him. So next turn we can play Sadistic Obsession and activate it. I wish we could put it on a different snow creature, but we don't really have another snow creature. Carrion Feeder's okay. So let's play another snow land. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3. This can make something. 4. Okay. So now we're not going to attack or do anything, because now he can't really attack with the regular cohorts unless he has something. Because I can block, use it. Why wouldn't you attack with this one? Let's kill his changeling. What is he cast? Oh, he's casting mob. Brutal. Well, that's why we waited till we could activate it. Ouch. Yikes. Getting dominated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, let's... I guess we'll cycle this. That was unfortunate. I mean, that's the downside of this card, but we didn't really have a choice. I think we're just dead. 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I think we're dead. Why is my opponent... Is it disconnected? Interesting. I don't know how open my colors were during the draft. It was kind of hard to get a read. I know blue and red weren't open. Or at least I don't think they were. We did see a pretty late Firebolt, which is a great red card. I think that was pack 2. I don't think we were really supposed to be in a different color combination. Maybe white, but we weren't seeing a ton of cards. We were just going to take powerful cards if we saw them because we were able to splash most of them. Maybe I prioritize talismans a little highly. I don't know. I do not know. Show chat. Hello. Weird. Anyway, I think we didn't really do anything particularly wrong this game. Their deck's just pretty sweet. Changeling deck, I guess. What do we want to sideboard in? Do we really have any cards to sideboard in? Maybe I overvalued Crows and Tusker. I wish we'd drawn some cycling lands this game. That would have been good. Yeah, that's game. Okay, let's sideboard. Okie doke. So, Nimble Mongoose is probably... Actually, I guess that's the only card we could sideboard in. This is just catastrophe. Yeah, this is not a great... We just did not get a ton of playables outside of our deck because we took so many snow-covered lands and then just didn't see any really payoffs for it. Got this Soul Herder, but we don't have anything to flicker except like a Twin Silk Spider or a First Sphere Guardian. Let's bring that in for... Tornado. No, they have a flyer. So Digital Section actually seems pretty good. Let's just run it back. Yes, we would like to play first. Sure, there's a fine hand. Sadistic Obsession is the type of card that can really punish him, because if his only removal is Mob, then we can just pick off his creature so he can't convoke it out. This could have like run away with the game. Also, the Venomous Changeling matches up well against like all of his creatures. There's a 1/1. Talisman comes out. Wait, what's this do? Yikes. Let's play this one because we'll block this guy, and if it trades, then if it dies, then we get to scry anyway. Jeez, that is brutal. Another Changeling Outcast. Okay. Just need to draw a land to get this. Oh gosh. So at least we get to scry here. Or another creature dies. That is so brutal. Wow. Well, this game's over. I mean, literally turn 3. My opponent doesn't even need a 4th land to just wreck me. All his guys are unblockable. I don't have any removal spells of my own. I'm not going to even hit land. That land was useless. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Or another creature. This card is just disgusting. What the heck am I supposed to do? I wish I had removal spells. That'd be sick. So he gets 2 counters on his guys now. I'm so dead. I don't think I have any removal spells in this deck. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Cordial Vampire is just too good. My opponent had a really good draw there. My opponent didn't even need a 3rd land. Jeez, what is this? Oops, that was bad, I guess. Doesn't even matter. I don't have any outs. These changelings are just so irritating. Brutal. Well, that was an ouch moment. I think our deck needs to get out on the board earlier than that. Just don't really have any good cards, I guess. I have some good cards. I have some decent synergies. It seems like my deck should have done much better than that, but my opponent's deck just, like, it's one of those decks where, like, their deck is so good that it makes your deck look terrible. Like, I don't think any deck in the format is really going to compete against that draw very well, just because he had, like, 2 4/4 unblockables and, like, a removal spell, and I think my deck can definitely do some powerful things. Definitely do some powerful things. Oops, sorry. Sorry about that. Okay. Redemption. Fishmaster, prepare to get wrecked. Also, Yawgmoth is our best card, so if we draw that, we're going to be in good shape. Oh my gosh. I think we have... This hand's probably keepable. It's not good. We haven't had any great hands. Like 3 spells, 4 lands are just so hard to mulligan. We haven't drawn a single one of our cycling lands, which is really annoying. Because those are really good at stopping you from flooding out. Because I think we've kind of not drawn great. Let's cast the Talisman. The Astrolabe's just kind of free fixing. It's kind of like running a Prophetic Prism in a 2-color deck. It's not like the best, but it's not like terrible either. And it can sometimes help you cast your spells. There we go. That is what I'm talking about. So if my opponent attacks me for 2, I'll just hit him back for 3. Not really worth trading with a persist creature like that. So we get another Wart Eye Witch out. And now we probably will block just so we can scry too. I mean, we'll attack so we can scry too. Don't want that. And we don't really want that either. Yikes. The scry. Definitely don't need that. Well, there's a catastrophe. Hey, Scorpion. We just don't have a ton of powerful stuff going on, I guess. Felt like my deck was decent while I was drafting it. We just have too many mana sources and not enough things to spend our mana on, I guess. Also, we are drawing very badly. Like, we are just flooding, like, all get out. We have drawn 4, I guess 5, 6, 7 spells, but this is like kind of just a cycler. Jeez, this is so brutal. Maybe we overvalue the talismans. They just seem so good. Like, turn 2 ramp, fixes your colors. We just have too many mana sources or something. We just don't have any removal spells whatsoever. Ugh. We need that spider card. That's a spider technically. But that's game. Well, I guess Tornadoes are going to be okay in this matchup. Jeez. What do we even bring in? Jeez. Man. This is a fine hand. Couple cycle lands. Couple all therapist on turn 1. What's that goblin called? Putrid goblin or something? Brutal. At least we ate the defile. That's pretty good. We will take... Oh my gosh, what the heck is this? It's like the Crows and Tusker. It's like a 3-mana draw too. The more lands we have, the more we can just cycle these two. I think I'm going to try and avoid drafting black-green in the future. It just doesn't seem to have the combos that you want to have. Like, my opponent... I guess I've just played against a couple of okay decks. Oh, gosh. Brutal. Let's get a forest. Nice. Not going to attack because we'll just block. Oh, he has that card too. Nice. Jesus. I wish I had this card. Jeez. I mean, I wish I drew it. I do have that card. Yay, an elk. Oh, we can't attack with this because he'll just block, sack, put a counter on it, kill it. Wow, that's such a stupid combo. Oh my gosh. Maybe we shouldn't have played the elk. Oh my gosh. I can't draw my own Yawgmoth to save my life. Holy smoke. Now he's going to proliferate. Man, this is just wrong. Jeez. This is evil. Let's try to sneak this guy in. Get that sweet ninjutsu trigger. Oh! I honestly can't believe that worked. Haha! Got him! Oh, that's so funny. Get wrecked, son. This can bring back creature with converted mana cost 3 or less. So we bring back a Wart-Eye Witch. Probably just better to cycle it. Look for our own. So our own Yawgmoth. How is that still the only creature in his graveyard? Is my question. Just, this is the worst. This is the worst. He just gets a free sack every turn. That's so brutal. Maybe we should have taken the Nether Spirit. But Nether Spirit is such like a... It has to go... Like, you have to draw it at the beginning of the game. If you draw it in the late game, it just sucks. He's a 3-mana 2/2. But as it is, he's just dominating me with it. This is a massacre. Let's make him make this card a card. To proliferate. Probably should have just jump blocked with our O2 as well. But I want to have a card to sack if I play my own Yawgmoth. I did put the Yawgmoth in my deck, right? I mean, he's somewhere. He's drawable. Heck yes, the rebound. Draw Yawgmoth, win game. Come on, right here. Never lucky. This is a nightmare. Yeah, we can't win this game. It's too late, yeah. We're just going to concede. Wow. We're just going to try and get a game win. Come on, deck. Come on. I guess we'll cut a swamp for a talisman. With this one change, our deck goes from unlosable to from unwinnable to unlosable. That was a nightmare. Honestly, if I draw you have decent odds to draw a single card in any game. If I'd drawn Yawgmoth in any of those games, I would have pretty much done to my opponent what they did to me that game. Because all you need are creatures, and then Yawgmoth just does it all by himself. But yeah, this is a nightmare. Just brutal. Can't just draw reasonable stuff. I mean, it's not even like I don't draw reasonable stuff. It's just my opponent's stuff just always matches up so much better. Like, he had the 2/2/2 like persist dudes when I had like 2 Ward Eye Witches in my hand and stuff like that. It happens. It definitely happens. Okay, I believe in our deck getting a win. Oh yes. 3-drop into 4-drop. Oh, so good. So good. That elk. And our opponent's on a mulligan. I can't imagine a better way to start off a game than my opponent mulliganing. Oh, I'm on the draw. Rats. Oh gosh, of course. Oh goodness. This is a nightmare. Game log. Let's see, do they scry to the top? Don't do me like this. Scry 2. Oh no, it's a tough choice. And they put both on top. You've got to be kidding me. That is really bad for me. Oh, the Twin Silk Spider. I wish I'd picked up a Defile. No Talisman on turn 2 feels bad, man. At least we're drawing a couple spells now. Our Opponent kept on top and they weren't lands. Start with the Ward Eye Witch. Ooh, he did not have a counter. The only reason we led with that is because I thought he might have, dang, whatever it's called. I guess that only counters spells that cost 2 or less, so maybe that was a mistake. Why would he keep both on top if they were unable to do much? Oh! Ooh, yes. Yawgmoth, my man. Next turn, Twin Silk Spider. Coming in hot. Man, Yawgmoth is so good. Sure. Ooh, that's kind of a sweet combo. Oh no, never mind. That's a different card than I thought it was. We'll take the hit. Next turn, we're going to get these 2 Twin Silks into play. And we can proliferate. Oh, yes. And we get to scry before we draw. Oh, we'll put that on top. Attack with both. Ah, yes. Ooh, another color emerges. I don't know why my opponent scried both to the top. Seems bad when you don't have a third land. You traded a lamp for a scepter, the scepter for a ruby, and the ruby for a simple rug. Well, that's dying. 100%. No. I need to stop him on his second main phase so I can kill this thing. Put that on the bottom. Games where you draw Yawgmoth are so much easier to win. I'm liking this. Play a land. Go to combat. Play the Bellowing Elk. Hold up a cycle. Statistical possession has been quite poor. Sure, we'll take it. Wow, Yawgmoth just one-handedly wins you the game, single-handedly every time. Unreal. He's even got protection from this human. Okay, so he's got 4 mana up. There's the card that has Storm and makes you sacrifice a creature, but that costs double white. So let's just play the Venomous Changeling to trigger this thing and have something to sacrifice. Get this indestructible, and that's the game. Easy. So easy to win when you draw your Yawgmoth. I told you, as soon as we bring in this Talisman of Resilience, we just cannot lose. I mean, Hierarchy. Such a great sideboard tech. I mean, main deck tech. Our deck has like a decent amount of just cycling, just find the Yawgmoth. And this is a solid enough hand. We'll keep it on the draw. We have this Rhyme Tender, one of our better cards. Jeez. Oh, it's so frustrating when they have this card because it just takes them forever to resolve it. Yawgmoth is unbelievable. Our opponent played it against us and we just couldn't win. We played it against them, a new opponent, and they just couldn't win. One of the best rares in the set, for sure. Another Fairy Seer. I don't think black-green is the greatest color combination in this set, just judging by these cards. Like, none of our cards are, like, bad. It just doesn't seem as powerful as what my opponent's up to. Like in any of the rounds. Maybe this round. But my opponent didn't have a good draw last round. Also, I guess we just didn't get the good black and green cards, so that could be a factor. We just didn't get any removal. We didn't get a mob or the card that gives -1/-1 for each swamp. Oh, Mana War. Brutal. It's better for me than if he had that other card, but he could just be playing this card in preparation for playing that other card, and then we just lose. We'll play the Changeling. And then pass. Then we can play 2/2 drops in the same turn. Just using our mana. This also just blocks the Mana War the best. Oh, okay. Bizarre Trade Mage is card disadvantage, but it is a huge body for only 3 mana. It's kind of like the historical card that like is a 3 mana 3/4 that does damage to you every turn. Like, it's pretty solid and limited just because it's such a big flyer. So it's like a 3 mana 3/4 flyer that discards you a card, but it does give you some card selection in the late game, and early on maybe it can help you find what you need, but overall I think the card's just pretty solid and limited. I kind of think it's kind of cool, like, design too. I just love the flavor text as well. He traded a lamp for a scepter, the scepter for a ruby, and the ruby for a simple rug. But it's a magic carpet. He looks kind of like Aladdin. And then that little bird is Iago. Oh my gosh, what has he got in his hand? If he's discarding Fact or Fiction? I can't believe Fact or Fiction is uncommon. ransack this lab. Wow. Well, that was inspiring. Guess we'll take Unearth. Rhyme Tending. We'll probably trade our Rhyme Tender for Mana War if he gives us the chance, so we're fine attacking in for 1. Maybe we wouldn't do that. I don't know. We can always just unearth it back is the thing I'm thinking. Give us a use for our card. Just waiting for him to play that stupid 1/1 for 3 that just exiles his Mana War over and over and just owns me. Perfect. We need Tornado or Yawgmoth. Ouch. Ow, that hurt. Wait, why would you... Oh, we lose. Oh, we are so dead. I'm just straight up conceding. Yeah, we lose. Okay, game 3. On to game 3. Come on, deck. We can get this W. Do we want to just play a Nibble Mongoose? Maybe. Over. What would we play? Let's just go. Let's just go. We are going first. Oh, yes, we have Yawgmoth. Oh, we got Yawgmoth, baby! That is what I like to see. That is what I like to see. Literally win every game where we play Yawgmoth. That is our motto. Only win when we play Yawgmoth. Sorry for the background noise. Everyone just happened to come into the room for no reason. Sorry about that, folks. Ooh, that's a really good one. 1 second. Okay, that should be better, hopefully. So now we got this Crows and Tusker to find us our land to play Yawgmoth, or we could just play turn 3 Yawgmoth. Opponent does have Conviction. And it's fine. It's nice that we have this option. Getting a forest, I think. Actually, we kind of want to get this guy into play, so we'll get a swamp. Nice. We found the forest anyway. We know he doesn't have any of the fairy. Wow, we baited out the Prohibit. Nice. One second, I gotta close the door. Every time these people, my folks, walk through, they open the door and they never close it behind them for no reason. It's just bizarre. Ooh, that is bad for me. Oh no. Let's just cast this. Cast a Wart Eye Witch. And then pass. And hope that my opponent doesn't have a Mana War. Please no Mana War. I beg of you. Because if they don't have Mana War, we're fine. But if they do, then they're going to bounce both our creatures. Their Soul Hoarder's going to get a counter. And then we need Tornado. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, thank goodness. Actually, Tornado doesn't kill this thing because Does this thing look like it has flying? This thing looks completely like it has flying. It's like a flyer. It's got wings. It's like not even on the ground. I wonder if they did a weird scry thing again. 2 on the bottom. Nice. Oh, we're so close to a victory. No, we will not pay. So we know they have Ephemerate in their deck. Okay, so we're going to play Yawgmoth. Cast Unearth on our Cabal Therapist. We'll play a land for the turn. Honestly, Yawgmoth is probably good enough to just make you play black no matter what. Like, just every game you play him, he just wins you the game. We'll attack for 3. And then we will sack Cabal Therapist to our Yawgmoth. Cabal Therapist was definitely not the pick out of the pack. We took it in. Cabal Therapist is not good in limited. I mean, I think it's good in constructed, and that's probably why I took it. But yeah, I definitely made some mistakes with drafting this deck. But Yawgmoth is still going to carry us to victory. I'm glad we drew him both times in the same match, because every time Yawgmoth came into play, we won. So we are actually going to try to kill the Soul Hoarder despite their Ephemerate. So we're going to go for it. Yeah, Cabal Therapy is just not good in limited. Playing a bad duress. Yep. Do I still draw a card? I wonder. It says up to 1 target creature. I guess I don't. No. Oh no. Okay, we're gonna have to win without Yawgmoth. But this is actually our first time drawing the Gargantua too. It's probably one of our better cards as well. Probably, I think. Go, Gargantua. Be the hero you were meant to be. Next turn we can just straight up hard cast our Ninja and Ward-Eye Witch. And our opponent's not doing anything. I think we're going to win this game, folks. Our jank deck just grinding through. The fact that this deck's going to get the same record as that mill deck we had last time is kind of hilarious. So we're just going to hard cast both of our guys. We're not going to use the full value from the Ninja because we just want to kill our opponent as fast as possible. Just adding a 5-mana 6/3 to the board. Add a Ward-Eye Witch. We have lethal for next turn. Our deck has no removal, no good cards, except Yawgmoth. And we could potentially get there. I've definitely learned a lot. Hopefully you have too, about maybe what cards to avoid, about how good Yawgmoth is. I don't understand why these people just leave the doors open. And by these people, I mean my friends and family. Could you close the door, Aiden? Could you close the door? I don't want to bother them. Okay. Oh, no. No! He has become a coward. I wish I had another ninjutsu guy. Just cast our snow permanent for no reason. It's just basic prophetic prism. Oh, it's a spell. Oh, just what we needed. Thank heavens. We are setting this up. It's masterful. 2 elephants coming in hot. Boom! We got the victory! Yes! Oh my goodness. Anyway, that is going to do it for this draft video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you did make it all the way to the end, say hashtag Yawgmoth for the win in the comment section down below, because we only won when we drew Yawgmoth. Also, I do want to give a special shout out, let me set this up, to my patrons over on Patreon. Eric S. is at the Eternal of Bolas tier, which means every video at the end I will give him a little bit of a shout out. All patrons at the Eternal Bolas tier will be on this page. So thank you everyone on the Patreon for supporting me and helping me continue to make these videos. Thank you so much. I really hope you enjoyed the video, everybody, and I will talk to you guys next time.